So, what you got there now? How and why and where did you even get that? You probably really don't want to know the answer to that question. And we're tackling a bit of a beast here today. I'm not sure if you were aware of that. And we need, or may need, some sort of fighting protection. Okay. And what, I guess, Arceus? Who is it? No, of course not. The Caterpie line. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, depending on where you are in your day, and thank you very much again for joining me here at the PokeBails, where we continue the series where we understand the meanings behind the names of Pokemon. So, let's just get involved. So, having tackled the first gen trilogy of starter Pokemon, we now move on to the next evolution line, which of course is the OG bug line, that being the Caterpie line. Of course, we have Caterpie, Metapod, and Butterfree. Now, being part of the original 151 and being a pretty prominent feature on Ash's team, at least in the anime, I think they're also going to be pretty well known, or at least most likely recognized, so the namings shouldn't be too out there. This naming line, though, is a little different to the past three name lines that we've already covered, in that two of the three names come from the sort of Englishified versions of the Japanese names. So understanding the Japanese names is going to be pretty critical, and understanding the English names, as they are borrowing from the Japanese names. In turn, the Japanese names come from English words, so there's a bit of a paradoxical circle going on here, but let's just get involved so we can explore the names. So I think it'll just be most suitable that we merge the English and Japanese names together, so that a nice little thread runs through it and it's easier to understand. And of course, starting off with Caterpie, and Caterpie's name in Japanese is Caterpie. So, simple enough, Caterpie just being an Englishified version of Caterpie. And the Japanese name, Caterpie, comes from Caterpira, which, if you think you know what that means, probably do. It is just a sort of Japanese borrowing the English word caterpillar, and then dropping off the ra at the end. Now, I think it's just to make it sound maybe a bit cuter. Again, that's just my opinion, but that's essentially where Caterpie is coming from. Now, after Caterpie, or the caterpillar, has entered its metamorphosis stage, it enters into a pod or cocoon just to, protect itself during its transformation. And that's essentially where Metapod is coming from, combining those two aspects. So obviously that first aspect being the metamorphosis aspect, where the animal is going through a massive change in body structure and cell growth, and the second aspect being the pod in which it encases itself, just to protect itself while it's going through these changes. So obviously just combining the meta and the pod, that's where Metapod's English name is coming from. Now Metapod's Japanese name is slightly different, and it is not one of the three which borrows its name from the Japanese name. And Metapod's name in Japanese is Toranseru. So Toranseru is just a combination of two Japanese words, the first being Toransformu, which is just, borrowing the English word transform, and the second word being Seru, which is just also borrowing that word cell from English. And I mean, the name does fit, a transforming cell, and that is what Metapod is, a transforming group of cells. And finally, we have the winged beast, which emerges from the pod once evolution is finished, and that being Butterfree. And so Butterfree is the second name where the English name pulls from the Japanese name, and sort of vice versa, where the Japanese pulls from an English word. And Butterfree's name in Japanese is Butterfree. So you can pretty much clearly hear that the two names are essentially the same sounds, Butterfree and Butterfree, just Butterfree being the Englishified version of the Japanese name. And the Japanese name is a combination again here of two Japanese words, the first being Butterfurai and the second being Furi. So the meanings are also pretty easy to make out here, I think. First being Butterfurai or Butterfly, coming from the English butterfly, and our Japanese does have a word for butterfly. and the second word being free, coming from the English's free. And Japanese obviously, of course, does have a Japanese word for free. And the combining of these two words in the name is likely just referencing that Caterpie is now free to roam the skies as a butterfly, or Butterfree. And so there we have it. Once again, we have Caterpie as Caterpie, Metapod as Toranseru, and Butterfree as Butterfree. So once again, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me here in this series where we just explore the meanings behind the Japanese and English names of Pokemon. And so naturally, in the next episode, we'll be exploring the sort of counterpart to the Caterpie line, which is the Weedle line. And if you'd like to see that, consider leaving a subscription and sticking around for more. But until then, have the best rest of the day you can. Stay safe either indoors or out there if you are going out there. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.